My name is Aisha and I'm the designer director for Baraka Women, barakawomen.com. Baraka Women is for lovers of modest fashion. It's a movement that's a global movement at the moment, and it's very popular. So people want to know how they can get their hands on something a bit more modest and how they can accessorize that to fit in with the normal fashion trends of today. So that's where Baraka Women fits in now, and it's all online as well to follow with what's happening in the marketplace, that it's all global, it's all connected via the internet, and it's very accessible. So the philosophy of Baraka is to be minimalist in terms of cut and styling, with a hint of the dramatic, so that it's very individual when you pick up the piece due to the print, due to the texture. But because of the minimalist cut, it's very easy to also add your own personality on top of that. As an example of that design philosophy is our duo set. So you've got the duo camisole and the duo skirt, and you can see that they're quite simple in shape, but it's that dramatic print that creates that individuality to the outfit. And then adding on a jacket or your own jewellery or hijab if you wear one, then that just takes that on to your own personal styling from there. For Baraka, fabric is key, so we're actually looking at natural fibres, things that perform very well on the everyday as well as under the heat and running around of a woman's day-to-day life. So we tend to go for natural fibres, and we tend to go for things that feel very comfortable onto the skin. Not restricting or tight or that make you sweat. So we look at that when we choose our fabric. We also look at whether that fabric is going to last the test of time in terms of fashion. The customer for Baraka has changed over the years, so we're starting to increase our customer base in the non-Muslim market. And it's just because I'm getting older, so my designs are starting to be a little bit more mature as well. I'm appealing to the older Australian lady or the older Western woman. She's enjoying that loose, not figure-hugging piece, but at the same time it doesn't scream an Islamic piece. If I was a Muslim woman, which I am, I would add either a bodysuit underneath this that would match the colourway of this top but not take away from it, so maybe an ivory, or I would add a jacket on that as well, same again, maybe an ivory or a chocolate or a black or something like that. And then you'd keep your scarf plain, so a nude or a chocolate would look really nice as a scarf. And if I wasn't a Muslim woman, well, I'd just wear it just like that. I could tuck it in or leave it out, add my jewellery, and I think that it looks good either way. But Baraka is not just about designing clothes, where I see myself as an ambassador for the label as well. So we often participate with other bloggers or other writers, and we might do panels and talking about fashion, or we also do a lot of charity work, so that through fashion we can donate some money to people who need that most around the globe and Australia. So we might do an event around that and invite people to come and participate. So there's just so much going on, not just design in Baraka as a business. And marketing is very exciting now, because it's totally shifted from the print and media release style marketing and advertising into the social media space. So you have to be a player in that space. You have to be interesting. You have to they have to see a person behind a label, behind the designs, and it's all about showing how that process works constantly. So inviting them in and involving them every step of the way. On Instagram, on Facebook. It's very visual, it's very, they feel like they're part of the process, not just at the end of the process. So social media is the biggest thing for Baraka in terms of advertising and marketing, and also we collate a lot of information about our customers so that we can target them by sending them specific information when we think that that's appropriate. If I had one thing I could help my business, it would be a top-notch website that does everything, even in terms of collecting your data and understanding who's coming from where, and So all the analytical stuff that sits behind that website. So for now, it's still quite basic. So that's something in the future I'd like to achieve. I think fashion for me is not on its own, it's always encompassing faith. It's a natural progression for me to design pieces that can be worn as a Muslim woman. And I take inspiration from my mother in doing that. I take inspiration from, people like the Olsen twins and their label The Row, where they've fused their Jewish faith along with their designs, and that keeps me motivated that those two things can quite easily be married together, and that's a very important part to me. Like, I wouldn't be doing design without my faith element coming through in each design. Yeah. The fashion business from a Muslim perspective has changed quite a bit. So I've been in business now for 6 years, and since then we're designing less as collections and more individual pieces that come out quite regularly. That's to deal with how quickly the market wants new things, and at the same time the actual industry has grown so much that I don't have to be everything to everyone anymore. So I no longer have to just do staples of the long black dress and the long black pants and all that. I can actually now design from my own self. My own creative process is all about describing myself through the piece, rather than say, well, you know what, the Muslim community don't have a long black dress and I need to provide that. So that's fantastic that we've got so many players and it's developed to that point. And we're actually starting to be a lot more mainstream. So mainstream media, mainstream PR and boutiques are taking notice that it's a significant market. And we're starting to see successes in those areas as well. So it's a good time to be a Muslim fashion designer.